Hello and welcome to KLM Institute.
In today's top story, a global wave of protests, boycotts, and political resolutions is drawing attention to Israel's actions in Gaza and shifting the world's response toward Palestine. From Hollywood to sports stadiums, and even the United Nations, the world is taking sides, and the message is growing louder. Let's begin with the global entertainment industry. Over 1,800 film workers, actors, and directors, many of them well-known figures from Hollywood, have officially pledged to boycott Israeli film institutions. These artists say they will no longer collaborate with Israeli festivals, broadcasters, or production companies that they believe support or normalize what they describe as genocide and apartheid in Gaza. The movement, led by the group Film Workers for Palestine, marks a major cultural shift in how the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is being seen, especially in the West. This boycott isn't just symbolic. It's a form of cultural resistance that aims to cut ties with institutions seen as complicit in human rights violations. It's one thing for governments to debate, but when filmmakers and actors speak out, it resonates with global audiences who consume culture every day. And that's where the power of storytelling becomes political. Now let's turn to Spain, where sports and protest collided in a very public way. During the final stage of the Vuelta a España, one of the biggest cycling races in the world, protesters stormed the roads in Madrid to stop the event. Why? They were protesting the participation of the Israel Premier Tech cycling team. The disruption caused international headlines. And Spain's Prime Minister, Pedro Sánchez, didn't hold back. He compared Israel to Russia and called for a full ban on Israel from international sports competitions. He said, "Until the barbarity stops in Gaza, Israel should not be allowed to compete in global sports." Spain's Sports Council even accused the International Cycling Authority of whitewashing genocide by ignoring calls for action. This shows how deeply politics is now interwoven with international sports, and how European countries are beginning to take stronger public stances. Now, let's talk about football, the world's most loved sport. Even here, calls for boycotts are growing. In New York's Times Square, a new campaign called #GameOverIsrael is calling on UEFA and FIFA to suspend Israeli teams and players. The campaign refers to findings by the United Nations that accuse Israel of committing war crimes and using disproportionate force in Gaza. One of the strongest voices comes from Irish football club Bohemians, which filed a formal complaint to UEFA. They accuse the Israel Football Association of violating UEFA statutes by organizing games in illegal settlements and promoting racial discrimination. And big brands are listening too. Puma, one of the world's top sportswear companies, has announced it will not renew its sponsorship deal with Israel's national football team. While the company hasn't directly said the Gaza conflict was the reason, the pressure from boycott movements seems to have played a key role. Finally, we move to the United Nations. In a historic vote this month, 142 countries, including India, Spain, Brazil, South Africa, and many European nations, voted in favor of recognizing Palestine as a sovereign state. The resolution also condemns Israel's military campaign in Gaza, calls for a ceasefire, and urges support for the two-state solution as the only path to peace. Only 10 countries voted against it, including Israel and the United States. 12 abstained. This diplomatic move is hugely symbolic. It shows a growing global consensus that the status quo is no longer acceptable. And it sends a strong message. The world is not silent. From entertainment to sports to international politics, the pressure on Israel is mounting like never before. The use of soft power, through celebrities, sports, and culture, is becoming just as impactful as political sanctions. This wave of action isn't isolated, it's coordinated. The same message is being sent from red carpets, cycling tracks, football stadiums, and the UN headquarters. Recognition for Palestine, and accountability for what is being widely described as genocide in Gaza. As the world speaks louder, Israel is facing growing diplomatic isolation, and Palestine is gaining stronger symbolic and political recognition. We'll continue following this story as it unfolds. Thanks for watching. This is the KLM Institute.